And I made figurative art for a long time before I moved into abstract art. And then I settled, after about a year of sort of experimenting, I settled on using images that my father had taken in the war. He was a Spitfire pilot, a reconnaissance photographer, and he's got a big scrapbook full of photographs that he took over North Africa and Europe. And so I was taking these photographs, making sketches from them, and using the sort of blown up images of cities and docklands as the basis for abstract paintings. When people see that work now, they can see the map-like quality, and often they'll talk to me and sort of ask me about it. So I tell the story about my dad, and then I hear their stories about the Second World War, any of their family members who are in it. So it really becomes about storytelling, which is what I want it to be. I think storytelling is what binds people together. When you stand in front of a painting by either Caravaggio or Picasso, you can see often where they've moved a hand from here to there. I think it's a sort of antidote to what we have now with this airbrushed world we live in, where everything's supposed to be perfect and they polish the surface so much that you can't see anything beyond it. It becomes almost without depth. And really what I'm after is exactly the opposite. It's to uncover the working process, to see the human hand at work, if you like, not to try and cover it up and make it look like it's been made by a machine. And I love that. I don't want it to look like it's come out of a factory. I want it to look like it's been made by someone, by a human being. A blank canvas, it doesn't really need your help. It's beautiful as soon as you make it up. I make all the canvases myself. I stretch it up, prime it, and I put it on the wall, and it's perfect. So I have to kind of attack it and show it's who's boss, really. So I get whatever paint is left on the palette from the night before and just attack it a little bit to mess it up, really. But from that point onwards, once there's a mark on the canvas, any mark you put subsequently to that is a reaction to that first mark. So in a way, your control diminishes from that initial point onwards, and the painting begins to build itself as the marks react to each other. And by the end, really, it's completely out of your control. I don't have a preconceived idea of what I'm going to paint. I have, all around me, as all artists do, stuff that I pin to the wall and tape to the wall, things I see in the newspaper that day, and I put them there, but I never work from a sketch to make it into a bigger painting. If I get stuck with painting, I do a silkscreen print. Silkscreens I make by building up the image colour by colour, so it's good because it slows your thought process down completely, and you have to think colour by colour, and you take a break between each colour to wash off the screen, paint another screen, paint another stencil, decide what colour you're going to put on next. If I get a little bit manic in the painting process, then I do a silkscreen print and it slows me down, and then I'm able to carry on painting afterwards. So it's a nice kind of symbiosis between the two.